Hello, and welcome to Let's Talk Spoop. I'm your host, Don, and today we're going to talk about a absolute stinker on Roku TV entitled Yellow Brick Road. Before we start, I would like to apologize for the lack of a video last week. Work has been hectic, and I did not have the time to record a review, although I did watch this last week. I just never had the time to actually record for you guys, so I apologize to my loyal fan base of two people. Anyway, so today on Let's Talk Spoop, as I said before, we're going to talk about an absolute stinker that I found on Roku TV called Yellow Brick Road, and I was very disappointed in this movie. As per usual, on Let's Talk Spoop, we break things down into 6 separate categories. Those 6 separate categories are story, acting, music, atmosphere, look, and creep. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump on into Yellow Brick Road. So, story. So, it opens with a text explaining that this entire small town went missing in 1940 New Hampshire. Most bodies were never discovered. Those that were all messed up. There was one survivor. They play a recording, and the survivor talks about how he's hearing something, and he's like, "Can't you guys hear it? Make it stop, and they don't hear it, and then that's the opening. It cuts to a guy getting some information files about it. The guy who gives him the files has like the classic like 1940s show voice, like, "How are you today?" That sort of thing, right? And that's obviously supposed to be some sort of mysterious foreshadowing. So then this guy's having a party with his wife and a friend, and he's like, "Let's just throw it all away and investigate this thing." So they go to investigate this thing. They get some threatening phone calls, but they still go and do it. And then they go to investigate, and then we get an introduction to all the crew. We find out that the friend is like a psychologist, and so he's like doing video recordings of like interviews with different members of the crew to see if they go crazy while we're going out there. Spoiler alert, they do. And so they're trying to just set up the idea that people are going to go nuts, right? And then they go into the woods. In the woods, their GPS is not working. And then 1940s like band music starts playing. And at some point, I forgot this, but at some point they randomly recruited a town lady from the town that was originally had all these people that went missing. The story had a lot that they could have done with it, and they just didn't do anything with it. So 2 out of 5 for the story. The acting is mediocre at best. There's absolutely no heart. Nobody really seems to care. 2 out of 5 for acting. Music, it's kind of creepy to watch this guy dismember somebody to 1940s big band music. But other than that, nothing. No, 2 out of 5 for music. Atmosphere, they tried to build an atmosphere of isolation, but it completely falls flat. You can't build an atmosphere of people being isolated from everybody else when they have a four-wheeler with them in the woods and are following a clearly demarked trail. It's 2 out of 5 for atmosphere. Look, it looks cheap. It just looks cheap. 1 out of 5 for look. And creep, there's no creep in this movie at all. They made every attempt that they made just completely falls flat again and again and again and again. I went into this movie having read like the synopsis on it, expecting like a slow build up of psychological horror, of people going nuts, there being something in the woods. Was it real or was it all in their mind? All that, and none of that was delivered on at all. It was just this. It was an hour and 45 minutes of my life that I'll never get back. So 1 out of 5 for creep. If it wasn't for the fact that I don't ever rate anything lower than a 1, I would honestly have given this a 0 for creep. So tally those scores up, you get a 1.6 out of 5 skulls for Yellow Brick Road on Roku. I cannot advise you enough to just never watch this movie.